watching Movieguide TV. I'm Evie Bear, and we are here at Disney's Expo called D23. It's all about what Disney's going to come out with in the next few years. We're able to talk to some of the filmmakers, so take a look.
Legend of the Neverbeast is the newest film in the Fairies franchise it's a monster movie with a classic don't judge a book by its cover theme, where Fawn, the animal talent fairy, encounters what could be perceived of as a monster, but she sees through to his heart. And it's a wonderful story with a wonderful message with a deep personal connection to me.
Yeah, we're incredibly excited to share Legend of the Neverbeast with D23. These are our fans. These are the people who love Tinkerbell and her friends, and we're opening up the world of Pixie Hollow. So we're finally getting to show the animal talent fairies and what they do, and to see Fawn's interaction with both Tinkerbell, but also with the Neverbeast.
Well, the movie is about two sisters who are sort of struggling to get along, and it's really like an adventure movie about one going to get the other and bring her back home. And, when I first got involved with this project and I was like, I'm going to play a Disney heroine, that's so exciting. I just had all these ideas about how I wanted to modernize her and make her relatable and make her much more like me when I was a girl. And I was awkward and I talked too much and I was too excitable and I was like, wore my heart on my sleeve, and they just let me bring all these ideas to the table and make her kind of a much weirder Disney heroine.
What do you think it is about the fairies that people love?
I know, right? Well, first of all, Tinkerbell is so beloved. So to see where Tinkerbell lived and, her life before Peter Pan, everyone wants to know what that is.
And she's really lasted,
She's the heart of Disney, and she's at the beginning of every Disney film, at the castle. I mean, Tinkerbell is just something we all grew up on. We grew up on, our kids will grow up on. She's forever.
Yes, it's called The Pirate Fairy, and I get to play Zarina, the Pirate Fairy. And she's a new pirate in Pixie Hollow. Not new pirate. She's not a new pirate. She's a new fairy. She turns into a pirate after she gets into a little bit of trouble. She's this scrappy, spunky fairy, and she wants to sort of broaden her horizons and gets in a little trouble. Yeah. Turns into a pirate.
Does she learn a little bit about being good?
She learns a lesson, but she also learns the value of her talents and sort of how to use them properly.
Well, I've always loved them. Grew up with Disney films, grew up watching The Jungle Book and Dumbo and Mary Poppins and Robin Hood, and then when my sister was younger, it was like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King and everything. And actually now in my family there are lots of very, very young children. And I think that it's a wonderful thing. They're wonderful films when everyone's all watching it together, and parents and kids, and it's I think Disney are the best at that. Quite simply, they make brilliant films for families.
Great messages for people to.
Yeah. Great messages, but just great stories more than anything. Like amazing characters that are fun and dynamic and lots of laughs and jokes and songs, and they know what they're doing. So and also when they asked me to play this particular character in this particular film, I was thrilled.
How did you guys get passionate about the project? What was it that really kind of?
Well, for me, it was a natural kind of thing. My dad flew in the Navy, and my grandpa flew. They passed that love of aviation on to me, so it's been in the blood all along. But I have to say, what's great about Trace is when she started, she knew nothing about airplanes, other than I think riding in them.
Flights,
yeah. And she has really become an aviation expert herself, so it's been pretty cool.
And there's also a very sweet storyline to it. What do you think little kids are going to get out of it that you hope that they?
We have a couple great themes running through the film. One of the ones I always love to call out is being true to yourself. I think Dusty finds that being true to himself, he can get through any situation. He can build a support group around him that helps him when times get tough. And, it's nice to be centered, and I hope kids can draw from that.
Yeah, and the other one in there that I love, too, that I can personally relate to is, it's okay to be a little bit fearful. We all are at some times in our life, but if you're able to step outside of that box, you might be surprised with the results.
It's about overcoming. It's about, digging down deep, and I love that it's the underdog story. It's a bit of a rocky tale. He's the small town plane that wants to make his family, his friends proud, but mostly he wants to just try. Yeah. He doesn't know if he's going to win this Wings Around the Globe rally, this huge international race, but he just wants to try, and he wants to give it his best shot. And when we do that sometimes, when we take that step forward, we can exceed our own expectations. That's the message I want kids to get from this. You can exceed your own expectations. Yeah. You don't have to put limits on yourself.
Yeah, and have you felt like you ever had a time period that you've had that?
Yes. During this interview,
Right now.
I'm trying to do better than what we are. No, as a young adult, I was, as a kid, I was just always putting limits on myself because I had a lot of anxiety when I would go outside of my home. I was very funny at home and with my family, but I would get a social anxiety when I would leave my house. I would get very nervous, and I would, my throat would close up. Sometimes I would actually get physical, like anxiety attacks. But I want to entertain the masses, and it was going to be a long way to go before I could comfortably do that. So that's Dusty's story. So I could put everything of my stand-up in there as far as like the energy that or like some edge, but the one thing that I could really put in there that was me was the fear, and I understood that.
We've had a great time here at D23 Expo. It's been so fun. Take a look at all our content at movieguide.org.